come in 1 year, my very first year with Scentsy. So, and by the way, I wrote it down, but I haven't memorized it yet, what Deb said in the story. Do you remember what you said?
I it was 9 minutes long. I said so many
anyway,
things.
she basically, it said the compensation, I'm talking about not the compensation. Why am I saying that?
The
income disclosure, that it's not typical, but it's what's possible. That's why I tell you that. That's why I tell you that. So, I'm talking today about sponsoring and building a community. So, many of you know that I built my business, the foundation of my business, with home parties. And for those of you who say and think that parties are not fun or cool anymore, you are wrong, and you're missing out big. So I'm going to tell you a little story about a couple of my first home parties back in the day, back in 2008. So one of my very first home parties I did, so much fun, had a great time. This really incredible woman walks up to me. Her name's Patty Lynch. Patty, can you stand up? So, again, this is one of my very first home parties in 2008. She came up to me and she said, Jen, I want to do what you do. And I was like, huh? So that's another whole story. I was stressed out. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe somebody else in my town is also going to sell Scentsy. Like, I thought I was going to be the only one. So Patty is your director. Please stay standing, Patty. If Patty is your director, please stand up.
If you're in my generation.
Yeah, if you're anywhere under Patty in this room, if she's your director, okay. And I want you guys to please stay standing. So then I did a home party for a girl named Dawn in 2009. And Dawn introduced Scentsy to Pam Willett. Pam Willett, can you stand up? She's a superstar director. And Pam introduced it to Kathy and to Robin. So Kathy Ware and Robin, can you guys stand up? Now if you're under Pam, Kathy, or Robin, please stand up. Wow. If they are your leaders. And then in 2009, I did another home party for a girl named Sarah. And Sarah shared Scentsy with Charity. Charity, stand up. And Emily Van Ormer. Charity shared it with, I'm sorry, it goes to Andrea and Emily Van Ormer. Please stand up. And she shared it with the amazing Lisa Hart. Lisa shared it with Nicole Sadie, superstar director Nicole Sadie, who I have not even seen yet. There you are. And Nicole, and also Lisa shared it with Bonnie. So Bonnie, please stand up. So if any of these ladies are your leaders, please stand up. Then in 2009, I did another party for my best friend in high school. And my best friend in high school, along the way, shared it with this incredible woman named Courtney Edwards. And Courtney shared it with Edie and Marissa. So if they are your leaders, please stand up. And everybody should still be standing up. And then I did some parties in 2010 and 2011 where Lisa Alexander, Linda Tardif, Linda Ellsmore, and Melissa Shockley couldn't make it today, but they were all introduced to Scentsy and became Scentsy leaders. So if you guys could all stand up. And if they are your leaders, please stand up. Then I saved the fun one for last. And I don't mean to leave any of you out. I'm nervous, and I hope I just covered most everybody. Actually, and if I am your immediate director, please stand up. I don't want to leave all my cool team out. Please stand up. Yay! So, yay, Teresa. Then in 2008, I was about to do this party, and the girl called me. This is 2008. She called me and she said, Jen, nobody's going to come. Nobody's going to come. I was driving 45 minutes to the party. I was like, well, you know what? I'm not going to give up. We're still going to do this. So because I did not cancel that party, which I sold $8 worth of product, one room spray, Melanie Hall, who's a superstar director, stand up, joined because of that party. There she is, waving back. And Ron, stand up too. So if Melanie and Ron are a part of your leadership, please stand up. So you guys, I hope I haven't left anybody out, but this is community. This is your community. This is our Scentsy community. This is all part of me doing a few home parties in 2008, 2009, 2010. All of these people are here because of home parties. Okay, guys, that's it. Thank you. So you guys all know that the fragrance industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry. You own a global, international, multi-billion-dollar business, right? If you don't have any team members that are in other countries, you can totally. They listed all 14 countries that you can sponsor in. Every single person in this room can have an international global business easily. You are holding the best opportunity out there in your hands right now. Every single person in this room, I don't care who you are, if you graduated from high school or not, doesn't matter. Your background does not matter. You are holding the best opportunity out there. It doesn't matter if you joined yesterday or this morning, all of you who joined today and got your free little sling bag, or 15 years ago, it doesn't matter. The opportunity right now is bigger than ever. There has never been a better time to build. I joined in 2008 when the economy was not good, and it was so fantastic. I was like sharing it with people. I was blessing so many people with the opportunity. Guess what? 2024 is 2008 all over again. We have circled back to, so consider this year 2008. It starts with belief. Do you believe in our company? Do you believe in yourself? Do you believe in our products? And do you believe in our industry? This industry is the best industry out there. Like, so many of you have been so blessed. I've seen Scentsy change so many lives. I have seen just a couple of quick little stories. I've had somebody come up to me and say, Jen, I walked through the grocery store for the very first time without a calculator. That's a huge win for somebody. Some of you can feel that pain, you understand. I've had people say, I actually paid my bills this month and got no late fees. I had somebody say that to me once, I loved it. I've seen people go on their dream trips. I've seen people get out of terrible situations. I've seen people give like crazy, collecting buddies or just giving, doing fundraisers. And maybe you don't have the means to give like you want to, but you can do a fundraiser and write a check for $500 or however much you can write it for. How good does that feel? I saw somebody get on her very first plane. I saw somebody get her very first passport. And a really cool one, I saw somebody buy her very first suitcase. I had a team member who had never owned a suitcase before, but because of Scentsy, had to buy a suitcase. So a little bit about me, and many of you know my story. This is my daughter. Why do you always cry when you pull your kids up? So when I joined Scentsy in 2008, I thought I was doing it for extra money, which I obviously was. But my daughter was 5. My kids were 5 and 8. My daughter was 5, my son was 8. They are now 20 and 23. And little did I know, this day was so stressful. This was her first day of kindergarten. I worked 35 minutes away. I was a dental hygienist. I had to come home. I wanted to see my kid get on the school bus for the first time. I had never, I didn't want to miss that. The very first day, I had to cancel 2 patients. My office was upset with me. They were like, Jen, where are we going to put these patients? Like, I don't know, but I just want to see my baby get on the school bus. So I took this picture. She turned around, smiled, got in my car, all for that little second. And I was so happy that I got to see her get on the school bus. But then fast forward a few years later, when I was no longer having to travel to 35 minutes to my office and clean people's teeth and miss every single day of my kids getting on and off of the school bus. One day, the school bus drove by my house, and I was watching my kids get on, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is my what? I now get to see my kids get on and off of the school bus. My son, so he is now 23. Because of Scentsy, you guys know I have to share. Because of Scentsy, because we as a family, my family has grown this business together. He's now 23, he was 8 when I started Scentsy. He's worked his butt off. My whole family has worked their butts off with our Scentsy business. And because of Scentsy, I was able to send him to college, I was able to send him to a flight school, and he's now 23 years old and he's an American Airlines pilot at 23 years old. We got to travel, and these are literally, I'm only telling you this because this is the opportunity that we have. Like, you can do these things. Like, I didn't go to a cool college. I didn't even go to an accredited college at first. My very first college, I just went because I heard you were supposed to go, and my parents were kind of mad that I was going to spend that kind of money. But now, like, I've lived and I've learned, and I'm like, oh my gosh, and not that college is for everybody, but my daughter was so excited about she wanted to go to a southern school that had sororities, and she happened to be a ice hockey player too, which is kind of funny. She's a sorority girl in Alabama and an ice hockey player. So she got to go to any school that she wished, and she's at Auburn University. She's a sophomore there. So, why has my business been so successful? And people ask me that all the time. And it's literally because I share the opportunity with everybody. The Scentsy opportunity, I've said this over and over again, is like no other. Why is Scentsy better? Do you guys know why Scentsy is better? I know that you know our product is better, but what if somebody says to you, but if I sell this, I make 50%? Do you guys know the answer to that? I'm not going to tell you, but you need to know the answer to that. Or if they say to you, well, that's a pyramid scheme, I'm never getting involved in those. Or, oh my gosh, that Scentsy stuff is so expensive. It's not, it's dirt cheap. If you break down how long one bar of wax for $6 lasts, Or 6 bars for $30, how many hours that lasts versus a $24 candle? It's dirt cheap. It's all in how you present it. Our company is incredible. We earn so many amazing awards, and Scentsy is not good about bragging about all the stuff that they have earned. Like, I have sponsored people because I had a conversation with them about us being in Forbes magazine and Inc. 500 back in the day. Those aren't even on the website anymore, but that's pretty darn cool when your company is in Inc. 500 or did I say that right? Inc. 500 or Forbes magazine. So the big question is, how often are you sharing Scentsy? How often are you stepping out of your comfort zone? You've probably seen this slide a million trillion times, and it's literally what you have to do. You've got to get comfortable getting in front of people, having conversations with them. Sharing every day. How many people in here honestly share the Scentsy opportunity every single day? Not the product, but the opportunity. Thank you. I am so proud of you guys. That is amazing. My advice, if you want to build a great, successful business, is to share with 5 people a day. It is hard. You think that I just walk around and can find 5 people every day? It is super hard. You guys know, I tell you, my group, you gotta get out of your car, you gotta go pay inside, you gotta not pay at the pump, you gotta walk inside. Like, you've gotta get out if you can. If you're able to get out of your home, that's what you have to do. If you're not able to get out of your home, you gotta find a way to meet new people every single day. You can't be afraid of the word no. We all know that no means not right now, this isn't a good time for me, or I don't know enough. It doesn't mean never. And please get that in your head. There has never, ever, ever been a better time. I had somebody join my team on December 31st of this year, 1 month ago. She not only joined on the 31st, she earned Sensational Start Level 3, she earned Shooting Star, she promoted to Director, and earned a trip to Hawaii in 27 days. Why? She's not in this room. She's going to be at the Tennessee World Tour. But why? Because she shared it. She's like, this company is incredible. She was with another company. She actually had always watched, she was one of those people at vendor events and kind of watched Scentsy, and then just, it worked that she decided to come to Scentsy. And she was like, I am so mad at myself that I didn't do this so many years ago. So she shared. She shares on Facebook. She's super positive. Another super important thing, be positive. If you're a positive person, your vibe, you guys all know your vibe attracts your tribe. If you're positive, you're gonna attract positive people. If you're a complainer, you're gonna attract complainers. You got it. So, people are desperate right now. This is a time in our lives when we're kind of getting desperate, but not only desperate for money, people are desperate for camaraderie. People are desperate to be part of something. Like when we were stuck in the pandemic, one of the greatest things was the fact that we all got on Zoom together and we all built community and we didn't have to go to work all the time. And that was, like, at all, I should say. And that was just really cool to have that camaraderie. Just remember that Sandy, the one that just joined me on December 31st, has very successful businesses already. So she didn't need Scentsy money. She was just really excited about it. And my sponsor, her name is Becca Levi, many of you know her, she joined Scentsy. She already had $1 million company when she joined. She wanted to bless other people and help people change their lives. So you have to decide today if you're going to change your circumstances. What is holding you back? Why are you not having conversations with everyone? Why do you think you're bothering people when you ask them about the Scentsy opportunity? You've got to change your mindset. You are blessing them, not bothering them. I have another slide. Oh, never mind. I wasn't supposed to click that. So anyway, it's time to get out. Oh, I missed a slide. That's why. Yeah. Okay, sorry, I don't even know when that is. I should not have done slides because it's so silly. I figured that everybody was going to be doing slides and I would be the one that looked like I didn't do slides. Okay, so decide today, you're blessing people, not bothering them. Just like when the waitress asks you if you want dessert, you might not, maybe you have diabetes and you never want dessert, but are you ever mad that the waitress offers you dessert? No, of course not. But you know what? One day it might be your birthday and you're like, I know I shouldn't have sugar, but today is the day I really want this. It's the same thing with your business. One day, I've had so many people that I have asked. One girl, I literally asked her all the time for 10 years, and then all of a sudden she surprised me. She's like, Jen, you know what? I think I'm finally going to buy that kit. So I'm like, wow, I'm just so glad that I never stopped asking her. So how are you going to stay motivated? And actually, we're going to now talk about how are you going to grow your team. So how are you going to stay motivated? You are going to, I never was a believer in vision boards and dream boards and all that kind of stuff. Honestly, a piece of paper works as great as anything else. take a piece of paper when you guys get home. 2 pieces of paper is what I would suggest. Write down 5 things that you would love to accomplish. Maybe it's take your family on vacation, maybe it's buy a new car, maybe it's pay off this, maybe it's see your kids get on and off of the school bus, maybe it's buy a pool or a car or a camper or something for your family. Write those 5 dreams down twice. Take one, hang it on your fridge so you see it every single day. Take the second one, put it in an important book, like maybe your journal, your Bible, your anything that you use, your favorite book. Stick that second piece of paper in, because a lot of you know the story of me, the time that I opened up the book and the paper fell out that I had done multiple years ago, and I was like, oh my gosh, I literally have done all of these things. So we are going to give more than we take, like the Scentsy motto, give more than you take. We are going to stop taking money for bars, and we're going to start giving the opportunity, right? So stop taking all this money. When people are like, I want to buy Scentsy from you, I can promise you, I do not just say, that's $31.65. Never. I say, you should really be getting these from yourself every single time. As a matter of fact, a huge mass of my customers start a text to me with, Jen, I'm not ready to join, I just want some wax today. It's kind of a joke back and forth, because they know that they are going to hear that from me. Always carry samples with you. Samples are the easiest way to start conversations. If you don't always have a bag full of samples or your purse full of samples or whatever you want full of samples, you're crazy, because it's the greatest way to just hand somebody something and say, hey, you like smelly stuff? Here you go. And if they ask you a question, you can answer it. You don't even have to say anything. As long as your information's in there and they don't want to keep talking to you, that's fine. They have your information. They can reach out to you if they want to. Share. Share with everybody. Don't be stingy, and don't be you're not good at judging people. That I can promise you. We have a veterinarian who is super successful who joined Scentsy because she had so many school loans. She's working her dream job as a vet, but she had so many school loans and her money wasn't quite cutting it. It wasn't making enough. She wasn't making enough money to pay off her school loans and have a great life. So she joined Scentsy to do that. And her name's Nicole Shavokas, and she's been around forever and ever. There is a PA in this room that is working her butt off. Like, we all know how hard it is to become a PA, and she knows who she is. She is working her butt off because she wants out of the medical field. I know so many incredible women who were in the medical field and wanted to get out of it, and like, this is way more fun than maybe some of these other jobs. But yeah, so she's gonna do it. She's here, she's working her butt off. She will not be a PA forever, and she's only in her 40s. It's not, I mean, she is like way too young to retire, but she will be there. She will definitely be a full-time Scentsy.
38.
38, oh, sorry. Well, I just assumed because, I mean, you have to be at least 40 to be a PA, my gosh. Just kidding. She looks 28, but. All right, so I told you guys when I stood up that I only went back 3 years. I've sponsored a lot of people. Have they all been successful? Absolutely not. How many of them have joined and then never put in $1? Probably a lot, probably hundreds. Like, it happens all the time. It's not just you, but it's a numbers game. You have to share this opportunity over and over and over again, and sometimes that time wasn't good for them and they come back and it's a much better time. I've seen that also over and over again. Like I said, just keep sharing. Ask everyone. Ask everybody about Scentsy. How many of you talked to the Instacart person when they came and dropped off your food? You did? Yay, good job. Proud of you. So talk to these people. An Instacart driver is doing something to make extra money. They're the perfect person. If you have extra host rewards and you can buy some scent circles, you hand them a scent circle and say, here, I know you spend a lot of time in your car. This thing will make your car smell great. Put your information on it, or talk to them a little bit, whatever. Anybody like that, anybody that you know that's looking to make some extra money, that's out there doing something to make extra money, those are the people that you really want to talk to. So I did this because I could go through so many different examples of things. I am not a cool YouTube maker, just so you know. I don't have a cool picture. As a matter of fact, every one of my videos starts with me looking like this. Like, I don't even know where they come up with the pictures. I'm not, but there are a couple that have the ideas. I still play the same 4 games, whether it's an online party, an in-house party, anything. I still play these games all the time. And for those of you who don't know, because it took me a long time to figure out, if you focus on that and then tap it, it'll open up your browser and just save it so that you can go back to it later. But a couple that I would really love for you to watch is how I do a home party. So there's a video on exactly how I do a home party. There's a video on how I play bingo parties, which are so fun and easy, and people are still playing bingo. My really good friend Rachel Pence, who's a superstar director, She was texting me all last night because she started the darn bingo party, and then she was having a moment last week. We were talking. She's like, Jen, I'm just having a really hard time booking parties right now. And I said, Rachel, do some bingo parties. You're the one that taught me how to do them, and I'm still doing them. She's like, well, I just can't find anybody to do them. I said, Rachel Pence, are you kidding me right now? Did you actually say that? So yesterday, she was texting me. She's like, I did 3 bingo parties last night. I booked a super ton of parties, and everybody loves it, and I can't even believe I stopped doing this. So she was super, super excited. Also, borrow bags. That's another really great way to get your product in the hands. Your warmer that came in your kit, sitting in your kitchen, if that's the only thing you have, is doing you absolutely no good if it's sitting in your kitchen. You need to get that into the bag, earn some host rewards so that you can get your own warmer, but get that warmer out into hands. I want you to all attempt to do everything in this business. Try to do, what I mean by that is, try a home party. If you've never done a home party, I know they're scary, but I'm telling you what, there's no better way to capture 10 people, get them super excited, and share the Scentsy love, and best place to sponsor people. I always sponsor people, not always, but a lot. I sponsor a lot of people at my parties. Do fundraisers, do events, do basket parties, do borrow bags. Wendy Heath Ugas is now calling them experience bags because she's from Southern California, and that is definitely way cooler than saying borrow bag. So experience bag, I really like that. I have to start saying experience bag. Get yourself in front of humans. So I have a card game, which I explain on my home party video, that most of you who know me, you all know how I play the card game. Honest to God, I have sponsored more people with that game, booked more parties with that game. It is a fantastic way to sponsor and book. So real quick, a couple of you really wanted me to share this because I haven't shared it for a while. Home parties, I told you that 2008, 2009, and 2010, I did a lot of home parties. I'm going to show you my 3. First, I'm going to insert the income disclosure because you guys all know that that's very, very important. As Deb has shared, she says it way more eloquently than I do. Don't you feel like you have to use the word eloquent when you speak about Deb? Because she's just
Yes.
And so anyway, I mean that with the greatest respect. Like that, you are the coolest person to me. So I built my business on home parties. This is November of 2008. This is only my Scentsy calendar. I want you guys to all know that I had a full-time job. Also, I had 2 children. I was judging cheerleading competitions on the weekends, and I had 2 children. But I also had a dream, a desire, a focus on I was going to make this work because I had no other choice than to build something successful. So in November of 2008, I did 23 home parties in 1 month. Now, I forgot to tell you something else. The 2-year plan. You guys you all know about the 2-year plan. I know it's kind of evolved into other things, but it's just easier to keep calling it the 2-year plan. If you sponsor 2 people a month, 2 to 5, and you sell 2,000 PRV every single month, you can build a huge income. You can build the income of a very successful doctor, lawyer, anything that you want, if you continue to do this and you teach them to do the same. So I did that. I practiced what I preached. I followed the 2-year plan for the entire year. So again, this is November 2008, 23 home parties. I did 4 to 5 basket parties. I had 2 active frontline. My paycheck at the end of that crazy month was $2,500, which was a lot of money, but I almost died making that much money, making $2,500. And I remember thinking, goodness, this was a lot of work. And then on that December 1st, when your workstation goes back to 0, isn't that the most stressful thing ever when you just work your butt off? And then I did all that, now I have to start over. So then we're going to fast forward 1 year, November of 2009. This was my Scentsy calendar. I did, and don't judge the chicken scratch, but I literally just photocopied it. I did 10 home parties in November of 2009. I had 4 to 5 basket parties. And I had 49 active frontline by that point, 1 year later, and my paycheck was 4 times over, it was about income disclosure, it was almost $12,000. 1 year later for 1 month. Fast forward 1 more year, so we're in November of 2010. I did 4 home parties, 2 vendor events, 4 basket parties. My paycheck was 10 times the amount of that first year, so it was over $25,000 for 1 month. I only tell you that because I want you to see the power of home parties. Or, it doesn't have to be a home party, an online party. Whatever works for you. If your parties are super successful, you're sponsoring and you're recruiting, I don't care what you do. You don't have to do a home party. But if you're doing all of these online parties and you're killing yourself with your fantastic customer service all over the place and you're not doing any kind of parties, then try it. I promise you that they work. And I know this was a long time ago, but it still works now. All right, keep your setup simple. This is another thing. When I do my parties, you guys, this is a party that I went to, and all she had was this little end table for me. And I was like, okay, it is so important that people look at what you do and they think, could I do that? Yes, I could do that. If you walk in 8 trips into the house and you have $600 in product displayed, nobody in that party is gonna think I could do that. Do you think I wanna spend all my nights out in people's homes all the time? I mean, yes, I have fun, but I'm there because I want them to look at what I do and want to do it like me. So showing them that this is all I had to do, it was a $500 party, she joined, she's successful, that's all it took was that one little display. All right, so real quick, I am probably out of time. Is that zero? I mean, that I ran out of time a long time ago. So real super fast. A couple of super fast tips. So your vibe attracts your tribe. I'm gonna say these fast. And I will tell you that I personally would never join under somebody who posts their drama on Facebook. I would personally never join under somebody who posts on whatever, who walks around and badmouths people all the time. I would never join under you. So keep that in mind when you're having conversations. Number 2, invite personally and privately. Don't just post all over Facebook all the time. Come join Scentsy, come join Scentsy. Message your friends, text your friends, call your friends and say, hey, I just got back from an event and I was thinking about you so much because I think you would be so good at this because you, whatever it is that's so great about them. Start your conversations with a compliment. Somebody said it earlier, many of you know that I told somebody I liked her shoes once in a bathroom and she gave me a $45,000 order. Didn't know her. Gave me a $45,000 order. Be all in. So what does that mean? Heidi talked one year a lot about being all in. You guys are like, what? Yeah, swear to God. So all in means if you're posting about all the businesses that you're in on Facebook, sorry. Come on, I'm almost done. If you're posting about all the different businesses that you're doing, people are gonna go join somebody who's serious right now. There's so many people who need extra money, and they're like, oh, but she's doing that and that and that. I don't want to bug her. She's so busy. They're gonna go find the person who's committed, and it really looks like they love Scentsy and they're very committed to it. Never cancel a party. Hence, Melanie Hall. Thank God I didn't cancel that $8 party because she's one of the greatest people ever. Don't sell. Share. Share stories. Share the story about. I think sometimes we forget that we have a really cool product that we have. I actually was just talking to a consultant. She's been a consultant for a little while, and I mentioned, and she said, anyway, something about the warmer, and I said, you do know that your kids can touch the wax and they won't get burned? And she was like, they can? I'm like, my gosh, what have we done? We've gotten away from sharing our incredible product, sharing about how it's safe for kids and pets. Like, make sure that you're sharing that information. Do what works for you, and when it stops working, shift. So if you're doing online parties and they're fantastic and you're sponsoring and recruiting and sponsoring and booking like crazy from your online parties, don't stop doing that. But if it's not working, it's time to shift into something else. Consistency, I already told you guys, talk to people every single day, be duplicatable, don't have the big, huge displays because nobody is going to see that. And I'm actually, events, that's another thing, I stress about events because I think it's so cool to do the great big huge events. I've never done one. I would love to do one maybe now and because I'm in a different phase of my business, but I love that I grew my business. I have consultants here who joined, there might be somebody who joined, is anybody in here join me at this event, this venue? No. Actually, they're in Massachusetts right now. I know who it is. I met somebody here. I did a home show here. My thing was one table. It was nothing cool. All these people had these big, beautiful displays. But the cool thing is they would see me and they'd be like, oh, I can do that. But if I came with $100,000 worth of product, they might not have been as willing to join with me. Always have possibility packets with you. What is a possibility packet? It's whatever you want it to be. I do have a YouTube video that shows you what I put. If I'm really organized, which is not most of the time, then I will carry a possibility packet. But 90% of the time, I have a scent circle or a sample. That's my possibility packet with a business card or a QR code that leads them to me. But have those things with you at all times. Try the borrow bags, aka experience bags. Play your booking games. Excite and invite. Get people excited about Scentsy and then invite them to do what you do or invite them to host a party. Fill people with inspiration, not information. I say that all the time. Don't go over the compensation plan when somebody asks you about Scentsy. Go over the fact that you just came to this event and oh my gosh, it was so fun to have pom-poms again. Or to whatever you got to do here. Or you just, one of your good friends just earned a trip to Hawaii. Or You all get it. Excite them and invite them. People are going to say no to you all the time. And I think sometimes one of the biggest differences between me and Jen and all the people who have sponsored tons of people, like, it's because we hear no. You guys think that like fairies just fall from the sky and join under us? No, only Sandy. That was pretty cool. I did get lucky with that one. But no, they don't just fall. They don't come knocking on ours. Has anybody ever knocked on your door and asked you to join? No. They say no all the time. I mean, I'm assuming you get the same thing all the time. But no means not now. It doesn't mean never. Unless they say, Jen, I'm never going to do that. Do not ever talk to me about that again. I have never had anyone say that. So it means not now, or I don't know enough. And pick yourself up, brush yourself off, and move on. Hearing no is not bad. Have you guys ever seen the training Go for the No? GoForNo.com. It's kind of a fun little training. So I came across a video that I think, oh, sponsoring tips, I already gave it to you. So I came across a video, so you don't want me to put mine on, right? You do want me to put mine on? No, don't put mine on. So I found this video. It is so cool and so impactful, and I hope it has the same. I sent it to 5 superstar director friends. I was like, do you think I should play this? They were like, if you don't, I'll be so mad at you. So this is the coolest video ever. So go ahead.
They asked me, were you born in this country? And I was immediately offended. And I said, yeah, I was born in this country. And then she says, do you have any kids? I said, no, I don't have any kids. She then asked me if I was married. And then I said, no, ma'am, I am not married. She says, how old are you? I said, 19. May I help you find something? She then says, you are the most beautiful girl I have seen. And I said, oh, thank you. And then she says, I think you could be the next Miss USA. I'm in the Army, okay? We don't do pageants in the Army. She then asked me to meet her at Starbucks the very next day before my next shift at Target. And apparently I was a pretty open-minded 19-year-old because I actually agreed to meet her the very next day. The next day she bought this foot-tall stack of pageant books and proceeds to convince me to enter into a state pageant. So 3 months later, I compete in my first pageant, and I lose. I go back the second year, compete in the state pageant, I lose. Go back the third year, compete in the state pageant, and lose. Go back the fourth year, compete in the same pageant, and lose. I go back the fifth year, y'all, compete in the state pageant and lose. But guess what? I go back the sixth year, guess what happens? I lose. I called her on the phone and said, you told me I could be the next Miss USA. And she said, Deshauna, keep working, don't quit, keep going back. And in June of 2015, she passes away from leukemia. 6 months later, in December 2015, I won Miss District of Columbia, USA. 6 months after that, in June of 2016, I become the first soldier to win Miss USA. At times, our purpose drops in our laps as if the heavens threw it by accident. I ask only one thing of you all today after you leave this building. Do not fear failure, but please be terrified of regret. Giving up is the birth of regret. After you walk out this door, you will receive 100 doors shut, slam in your face. You will have 100 moments that will be filled with someone telling you no, or telling you, thank you for your application, but we regret to inform you that we've chosen a different candidate for this job. You will sit in 100 different interviews and you will not get the job. The reality of life is that we will all hear more no's than we hear yeses, and we will